Hello, this is the TradeSite U.S. Stocks and Futures Market Preview for Tuesday, the 18th of September, 2018. We had a good trading day on Monday. Nice day for futures and for a couple stock trades. Nothing to complain about there. Market was down pretty big by the end. Let's go through it. Here's a look at the ES front month futures contract. This is the daily chart of the broad market and futures forum. And as you can see, we came off a little bit, but we were near the high on Friday, so it's not like this is any big loss yet. Crude oil down 30 cents to 68.69, so holding in despite the hurricanes. Summer heat. Gold up $3.50 to 1204. The S&P cash index gains loses 16.10 points off the highs. MDX down 110.77. That's a pretty big loss on the NASDAQ as the tariffs hit China starting after the market today. SOX down 19.83. The biotech's down 50.16. The VIX gains $1.38. The trend closes at 0.61. That puts that 10-day moving average down at 0.92. Now let's take a look at this and count back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So the reason that dropped, the moving average dropped so much, is because that high reading of it, almost 2, dropped off the 10-day moving average. There's still the next day that will drop off after tomorrow. The next 2 days are still above 1. And what that means is if we were to get some readings like 0.6, 0.7, 0.8 on the trend the next 2 days, that will likely bring that moving average down under 0.85. And remember, under 0.85 is a sell signal on the VIX, on the 10-day moving average. That's a sell signal for the broad market. So keep that in mind. NASDAQ volume was 2.2 billion shares. It's about right down the middle of what we've been seeing. Advanced decline ratio on the NASDAQ, negative 1,069. It's the most negative we've seen in over a month. On the New York was only negative 611, which isn't as bad, but still pretty red. Google loses 18.15. Apple down 5.96, obviously affected by the tariffs. Netflix down 14.21. Amazon loses 62.16. Tesla down 36 cents. TLT, the 20-year bond ETF, was even on the session. Goldman Sachs, which we almost traded today and didn't quite trigger, down $1.35. Facebook also down $1.74. So all these big stocks down on the tariff news. Let's take a quick look at the intraday action. Switch this to 5-minute candles so you can see. So after Friday was a totally flat day, we knew that was going to happen with the contract roll. Small gap down here, pushed a little lower. Then that was it. We were pretty flat for several hours, and then in the very late afternoon with 45 minutes left, we finally cracked the lows and went from there. Didn't give us a lot of time. In terms of economic data tomorrow, not much. NAHB Housing Market Index, 30 minutes in. Tick long-term purchases at the close at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. The hurricane seems to have been moved past and been done at this point. There's still damage, I'm sure. The bigger numbers are still later this week, but there's not a lot of them. It's a fairly late week. Remember, next week is a 2-day Fed meeting, but this week is triple expiration for stock options and futures and commodities. So usually Wednesday or Thursday we'll get that unraveling move, a triple unraveling move. Hopefully that leads to something, and then Friday will be dead for the expiration. Charts as usual brought to you by eSignal. If you've not yet taken a trial of our services, feel free to do so. We will help you out for a couple weeks. Have a great trading Tuesday.